Hello and welcome to The Last Word. I'm Gargi Rawat. As the protests over the Kolkata rape and murder horror have crossed 10 days over the rape and murder of a junior doctor in a medical college there, and we've seen the agitation spread across the country to other hospitals and then move beyond doctors and become a movement demanding safety for women. We've seen the Supreme Court step in, the state government as well as the centre promise action, but will we see real change on the ground? That is the big question. Now, we've seen this anger before in 2012 after the horrific gang rape in a Delhi bus, which we call the Nirbhaya case. It led to the rape laws in the country being changed. But here we are again. Since the rape and murder of the junior doctor in Kolkata, there have been several rapes and molestations reported across the country. There's been a rape and murder of a nurse in Uttarakhand. A minor was raped on a bus in Dehradun. Two kindergarten girls were molested in their school toilet in Thane. And a sexual assault charge at a fake NCC camp in Tamil Nadu. Now, the hope is that this sustained outrage will force some change, but will it be enough? That is the question we're asking today on The Last Word.
You have levelled many allegations against the former principal of the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, Sandeep Ghosh. What are these allegations, if you could elaborate for us?
Yeah, I lodged a complaint before the Vigilance Commission in the year 2023. After that, also made complaint before the Anti-Corruption Bureau regarding irregularities done by the Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. First, my complaint was illegal trafficking of biomedical waste. We all know that use syringe, use saline bottle, use rubber hand gloves. These all are to be disposed as per norms after disinfection. But all this material he used to sell to Bangladeshi citizen, and one security, additional security of his named Afsar Khan was involved in this trafficking. Next, illegal trafficking, illegal selling of dead body. HOD forensic medicine complained against him for giving 5 bodies for the ENT workshop, and also the matter was lodged by the relative of the bodies. National Commission summoned him in January 2024. So all this matter, along with these irregularities, financial litigation, the complaint of financial litigation, he used to take bribe from the vendors at the rate of 20% in lieu of award of contract, work order. In spite of this, he was also involved in a Nexus racket felling of student, and for passing he charges some financial, some more amount. All these allegations I made against the Sandeep Ghosh, but no action has been taken place by the appropriate authority. Last night I went to Tala police station for lodging an FIR, but Tala police station refused to accept the FIR. I filed a criminal case against him before the Honorable High Court. The case is already registered and expected to admission hearing tomorrow.
All right, so that is a related development where my colleague Tanushka is interviewing Akhtar Ali, the former deputy superintendent of the RG Kar Medical College, who's made these serious allegations against Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal, who's already being questioned by the CBI. He's made allegations that he engaged in extensive corruption and bribes and trafficking of biomedical waste. But this, remember, is an allegation right now, and we're waiting to hear more from the investigation in this entire matter. But to talk more about whether the Kolkata horror will, this outrage that we've seen that has spread across the country and become a movement, will it really bring about any change? We're joined today on the program with Saket Gokhale, Trinamool MP, Rajya Sabha, Shweta Shalini, BJP spokesperson, Sharmishta Acharji, actor, Dr. Neelam Mohan, Senior Director of Department of Pediatric Gastroenterology at the Medanta Medicity Hospital, We're also joined by Meghna Pant, author and someone who's written on this issue about women's safety, and Dr. Ranjana Kumari, a women's activist and director, CSR, and chairperson, Women Power Connect. Thank you so much all for joining us on the program. And, you know, this is the real question, even as we've seen these allegations emerging of corruption against the former principal of the college. You know, the focus needs to be on the demands of the college, of the doctors, as well as safety of women. Meghna Pant, first to you, your comments on this.
Gargi, I think the only thing for me that I want to resound across our country is nothing matters except the safety of our women. And I'm seeing that justice is not being served. There is no resounding threat or liability to rapists. It seems like it is like Balatkari Bachao but Beti Na Bachao. And I've been clamoring for capital punishment for so many reasons. And I'm being shut down by humanitarians who'd rather show humanity to perpetrators instead of victims of ghastly crimes. And remember that there are 40,000 rapes taking place in our country today. I'm not interested in the political posturing. I'm not interested in the platitudes that are being said. I want justice for the women of India. And this will only come when we issue the death penalty for all rapes and give a message to every perpetrator that this will not be tolerated. Look at how long the justice system is taking. Look at the Ajmer case. 32 years later, even the Nirbhaya case, despite so much global clamoring against it, it took 8 years for some sort of justice to be met. And I don't understand why our systems are so slow and why they're stacked against the women. The women are being told of this country not to step out after 7 p.m. If you want to take any corrective action, tell the men not to step out. So why is the onus of hideous, heinous, barbaric crimes coming on the women of this country? And this will only change, Gargi, only change on a societal and legal, when the societal and legal system backs women like us, backs the daughters of our country, and creates a protective system. And this will only happen when we make sure that we warn perpetrators that this will not be tolerated. Enough is enough.
Right. Well, the laws are there. We just need, faster action to take place on the ground. Dr. Ranjana Kumari, to you, your comments on this, and also the hope is that this will lead to some change, some actual change on the ground where women can be safer in their workplaces, safer going out, without putting the onus of their safety on them, saying that no night duties for women. These are not the kind of changes that we want. We want some actual change where society sees a change.
Well, Gargi, we have been discussing on this, and as you know, whole country is now mobilized. Everywhere we are seeing the protest, and as you very rightly compared it with the time of Nirbhaya, when we all were protesting on India Gate and going across country mobilizing. Now, what changed at that time? The Verma Commission was set up. A very stringent piece of legislation was brought in with the wider consultation. We all were part of that consultation, and also, of course, the quantum of punishment was increased, and of course, it became very, very stringent. So all that happened, and then, of course, Nirbhaya's perpetrators were given punishment after so long. Now, I think what is important and what is really every time troubles me so much is the people who can provide solution, people who should look for solution, who are sitting in seat of power. They are only raising fingers to each other. You are responsible. The other one will say your government is responsible. The third one will say, no, it's not our government, it's your government which is in power responsible. I mean, women have become like political slugface casualty and are being pushed from one to the other. This thing, is this what a 4-year-old daughter of ours deserves? Is this what a 3, 4, 5, 7-year little children deserve? Is this what a doctor sitting inside the hospital deserves? And these are the people shameless, I think the first thing they should replace all these criminals within the political parties sitting in the parliament by women. If they will not do that, nobody is bothered, there's not enough pressure group, there is not enough voices of women, voices are coming, but voices are coming from people who vote these kind of people to power, who, so many. Why not? And I'm very happy with Supreme Court taking suo moto action.
That's
but why
right.
not reform and wait, just one more minute, Gandhi.
Sure, go ahead.
133,000 cases are pending in the courts. Why is Supreme Court not saying today that let's get them all reviewed quickly, let's put them through fast track? Why it is only, of course, very good that the questions They have asked the government, West Bengal government, everything. But what about court's responsibility? Who's going to dispense of with justice? Who's going to really instill some kind of a fear in the minds of rapists? Who? The law, and the law is there. But if the courts are failing us, what do we do? Institutions like National Commission for Women, Human Rights Commission, Child Rights Commission, plenty of institutions from taxpayers' money that we are supporting and paying. What are these institutions doing? Who's going to fix the accountability? So people who can provide solutions are also only replying to all these political questions.
Right, ma'am, and I agree with your point. A lot of politics is happening over this, and that has been something that's been unfortunate because, you know, there's been so much misinformation also that we've seen online. I, for one, am very glad that the Supreme Court has asked the CBI tomorrow to give an interim report because there's so many unanswered questions, and we need to know where this stands. Shweta, Shalini, you know, what ma'am just said about the protests and the politics really hijacking what at the core of it is a demand for better safety for women. Doctors are outraged. They want better conditions, not just in the Kolkata hospital, but across the country.
Gargi, I was very happy to see your panel, except Mr. Gokhale here. It's an all-women panel, and I was hoping that I come in the end because I'm a political representative, and of course I am going to put across my party's opinion on this. But before that, I want to put in my view as a woman, as a mother, and as somebody who's been in the society, been in India, and has huge hopes from the governance of India today. Now, having said this, please understand, we've seen various incidents. One, it is important to take governance action. For example, an incident happened in Maharashtra. Almost immediately, governance has kicked in. A lot of actions have been taken at the school level. Now, the management is going to be responsible. CCTV cameras are mandatory. The management, if does not report an incident like this within a few hours, is going to be jailed, and so on and so forth. Vishaka committee is going to be installed within the school's premises as well. But if you actually look at Kolkata, you look at what the so-called ministers are doing. The ministers turn around to protesters who are people of the country who are angry, people of the state who are angry, turn around and say, oh, these are women who might be just going out with boyfriends in the name of stir. Or if somebody goes out on record to say कि उंगली उठाया ममता बनर्जी की तरफ तो उंगली तोड़ देंगे. Unfortunately for me as a woman, Mamta Banerjee is a woman who's a chief minister, and I expect more from her because if no one else, I don't expect the men to understand, but I understand a woman to understand being on the helm of affairs and jump into action immediately. But here, the Supreme Court had to come and say that look at the brutality of the incident. And it is the Supreme Court actually said that it is a moment of national catharsis because it is such a shameful incident with 16 external internal injuries and 9 external injuries. The girl was smothered right in front of our eyes, and the protesters are now about 50 protesters are inside because they were showcasing anger. The entire evidence was tampered. The bathrooms were near the seminar hall.
I think a lot of this information tomorrow will be made clear when the CBI gives its report. But Saket Gokhale, a lot of criticism for the Mamta Banerjee-led government in the state about how it was handled, the delay in filing the complaint, and this is something the Supreme Court also took up. Of course, delay by the college, by the hospital as well in handling of this entire matter.
Thank you, Ms. Rawat. First of all, I wish to clarify one point. Ms. Shalini rightly said that, this was meant to be an all-women panel, and that's what I was
No, it wasn't, and we hope men can speak as, strongly for women protection and safety.
The reason I'm here is that it's time we stop treating rape as a women's issue. It is men who do the raping. And we need to start holding men accountable. I came here. I am a member of parliament from the state of West Bengal. Men need to be accountable. So we can't just treat this as a women's issue, number one. Number two, I quite agree with what the learned doctor said earlier. The moment politics comes into it, it muddles everything. I was very glad to hear the first two panelists, Ms. Pant and also the learned doctor, when we are looking at what could be a solution-oriented approach. it's quite upsetting that, political party spokesperson comes and starts trying to score brownie points about, how Maharashtra has been handled well and how Bengal has not been, spreading disinformation, protesters are in jail. Not true. But I want to move beyond that. I want to move beyond that because what I'm really sick of, and I've been a politician only for a year, I've been in parliament only for a year. What I'm really sick of is that women's bodies, and if you look at even incidents in Maharashtra, the bodies of children, why are they being used for settling political agendas? It's can we not for once, topple a government, we're fine, we are okay with you coming and imposing precedents rule, but why hijack an issue which is a genuine issue that affects women across their political leanings, across the spectrum? Why try and use that to score political brownie points? As if, my rape is less heinous than your rape, or your rape is more serious than my rape. That's not how it works. As far as having more women's voices go, the learned doctor mentioned that. Madam, the problem with that is it doesn't always work. And I'll give you an example. We had a women and child minister, Smriti Irani, for about close to 7 or 8 odd years. Not one incident that happened under a tenure did she ever think that was important to speak up, be it Hathras, be it Unnao, be it Manipur, be it any of these. We say Nirbhaya ke baad, this is the most serious incident. I mean, I feel that there have been incidents almost on a daily basis that have not been reported that are probably as gruesome and as shocking as this since the last 12 years. Because they've not been reported on TV doesn't mean they haven't happened. We saw the case in Manipur where women were paraded naked.
Absolutely, I agree with you there, Saket.
And I'll tell you, I just have
Sure.
2 lines to say, Ms. Rawat, which is very simply, it's this. We need the strengthening of law enforcement. Laws are there. I'm a lawmaker, I'll tell you there are adequate laws to give the strictest punishment. But because law enforcement and the judicial system doesn't function, these cases go into I'm as angry as Ms. Pant is. But the thing is, the moment you say a mandatory death penalty, I mean, these guys should be hanged. They have no right to live in society. Yeah. But the problem is because hanging can only be done in what the Supreme Court calls the rarest of the rare cases. What means is the moment they get the capital punishment, these cases languish and these guys die natural death in prison, which is what we need to avoid. These cases need to be on a fast track mode, number 1. Number 2 is what example do people in higher authority set? Look, today an example is set by the people in power, and that leads to a transformation in society. It has to come from top down. It is not going to happen from bottoms up. Today, look at our political spectrum. Look at the number of people charged with crimes against women who sit in our parliament. The ruling party has the highest number of them, according to a report that was published by PRS. About 151 legislators in all. Second thing, what and how do institutions like the National Commission for Women, NCP, how do they react? We have seen that every time there is an incident in a BJP ruled state, the NCW is never there. But every time there's an incident in an opposition ruled state, the NCW are the first people to reach there. Why can we not treat why can't independent institutions not function independently? Why do they have to be beholden to one political party or the other? And number 3, what I wish to say is political leaders, we carry a responsibility on us. Everything cannot be politics. Elections happen once in 5 years. Elections have happened. Things are done. Speak for the people. This is not the time to try and topple governments or score political brownie points. How my government. Look, there is only one perfect person in this country, and that's the non-biological prime minister. I admit in the Kolkata case, we might have been 99% right, but we have made mistakes. I will not shy away from admitting that. We could have done things better. And I will admit that. But mistakes are made by humans. The Prime Minister and his party can never make any mistake.
That's honest of you to admit that mistakes were, yes, made. The reason we compared it to the Nirbhaya moment was because this has become a movement with, doctors protesting, demanding better security. Dr. Neelam Mohan, I just come in here also.
One question.
I want to move away from, the politics for a second.
Very quick question. I admit that we could have done things better in Kolkata. Will the BJP ever admit that they could have done something better in some case against women that happened in this country?
All right, we'll come back to, Shweta Shalini for more, but let's go across now to our other guest, Dr. Neelam Mohan. Your comments on this movement that has, broken out, that has emerged from this horrific crime that has taken place, the security of our doctors, the security of women doctors and nurses to just go and, do their duty, do their work without any fear. And hopefully, are you hopeful we'll see some change? The Supreme Court has also stepped in, a task force has also been ordered.
Yeah, I think Actually, like most of the women and all the doctors out there, I'm terribly devastated, sad, horrified, haunted all the time when I think about what has happened. Though my other speakers have been talking about the rapes and other political issues, what I want to bring about this case, which is so distinct, is here is a woman who's doing her work on her duty, and the workplace is supposed to be as secure as next to home, and there she has to endure this brutal crime. So this is very unique and can't be compared to the other rape cases, etc. This, and what as a doctor initially which disturbed us was it was all the doctors who came out protesting against this, and it's not, I mean, it's, we've been called as doctors next to God, etc. When we saw the COVID times, how doctors go out and they're putting their lives into danger and trying to help out to others, and no way this girl deserved this. Of course, the POSH Act in 2013 brought some rules and regulation about the responsibility of the employer to ensure that the safety. So I think it is time. I want to be the voice for all the doctors, the IMA doctors, the IAP doctors, and it's time that we get the Central Act for safety of doctors and hospital. It's absolutely the need of the day. It's been ages we've been talking about, dissecting, debating all these issues, but it's time now to say enough is enough. Here is a group of people, doctors, health workers, who are going out to help and putting their life at risk also with infections, etc. And it is time, and I'm very hopeful with this movement. Thanks to everybody out there. Please, this movement should not die now, and we should ensure that we get this Central Act. And I'm very happy that the Supreme Court has at least put in a national task force, which I'm sure will bring out these issues to justice, not only to this lady, but all the people out there who need this justice.
Absolutely, and ensure safety for other doctors. Sarmishta Charji, as a young woman on this panel here, this whole outrage and this movement has moved beyond doctors for all women. The right to work safely, and hopefully we can sustain this outrage and bring some change in society, isn't it?
I just want to say one thing, that if we are going somewhere to work, it is considered that that place is also a second home. So we should feel safe over there, because we are going there on a daily basis to work. So if we are not feeling safe there, and this doctor who got raped and murdered there where she was working, it is horrible. It is disgusting. And everybody, if we go on walk and march and stuff and all this, it's not going to work out like that. People who are powerful, who has got the power to do anything, they need to do it. It's not me, you, or anyone else who can take a step. Just hang them till death. That's it. Once you do it, at least they will be scared of doing it. I don't know whether it will be completely gone or not, but at least they will be scared of doing it, because the incident that happened here in Kolkata is horrible. So we all, everybody, especially the women, we want to feel safe. That's it. That's all I can say for now.
All right, such a simple demand. We just want to feel safe. Women want to feel safe. Yes, Shweta, Shalini, yes, your response.
Gargi ji, I just heard Mr. Gokhale long speech, which was laden with huge political duplicity and hypocrisy. I wanted to tell Sharmishta, she was saying that we just want to feel safe. I'm with you. We really want to feel safe. But what do we do with people like Mr. Gokhale, who says, yes, we committed mistakes, we could have done things better, yet he goes out and his government goes out and gives promotion to the principal of the college, RG Kar College, and gives him the most prestigious medical college in Kolkata, and almost awards him as if he's done a great job. Yes, I wanted to remind him there are other incidents, and Sandesh Khali is one of them. Bardhaman is another one. Also, I wanted to remind you, you spoke about Modi ji, but I want to talk about this huge model of Ladki Hoon, Lad Sakti Hoon, which basically talks about a model where you conveniently have amnesia on say a Hathras.
Right, ma'am, but the point is it shouldn't be, rape in this state is played up, rape in that state is not played up. As the man on my panel are full of, women speakers, Saket, last word to you, Saket Gokhale, your response to that. And yes, we're all waiting to find out what the CBI says tomorrow. There's so many questions about this particular case, and hopefully there will be some clarity tomorrow in the Supreme Court.
Honestly, my only response to this will be that I refuse to take the politicking on this too seriously, because that is going to keep happening. That should not make us lose focus of what needs to be done in this country. The ruling party at the center, the BJP, will never admit they make any mistakes. Until we admit that there has been a mistake, there cannot be a solution. On our part, we have looked at, yes, the principal's transfer was not right. I'll admit that. It wasn't right. And we learn from these mistakes. But the first step towards making an amend or making a correction is admitting that there has been a mistake. The problem is the Prime Minister for the last 10 years, the ruling party at the center, thinks they can make no mistakes. All they want to do is point fingers at the others. I wish them well. That is entirely their calling, and the people will answer them. But yes, we do. And as the lady rightly said as well, the one speaking before me, people in positions of power have to be more responsible, have to be more accountable. I, on my part, as a lawmaker, promise that I will. I promise that my party will be. And these issues go beyond politics. These issues are they're a systemic problem. This didn't start yesterday. It did not start.
We'll have to leave it there, but you're absolutely right, Saket Gokhale. It is a systemic problem, societal problem, and hopefully with this outrage, we can sustain this and bring some change on the ground. Thank you all for joining us. Sorry, we're completely out of time now, but thank you for joining us. And tomorrow, a big day as the Supreme Court will take up the matter again. The CBI will submit its probe report. With that, time for us to slip into a short break. News continues right here on NDTV.